Hi, so, oh fuck. I'll just cut it out, don't worry about it. Hey guys, it's Not Lamers from Invoked 101. Welcome back, and today I got first place at Locals playing Kashtira, which is the brand new hot deck from Photon Hypernova. It's a deck that I picked up the first wave of support for, and now that we have the new stuff, it becomes a fully fledged and playable deck. So I'm really excited to play this, and as you guys saw, I had the Starlight Rise Heart, so this is just something that I feel is really, really fun. And while it does have a bit of a price tag, it's definitely, in my opinion, for what I picked it up for, it's worth it. So I'm going to we're just going to dive right into it.
So, starting us off with the monsters, we're starting off with 3 Cash Rise Heart. This guy is your main starter of the deck. He's kind of the, the Reichart of the deck. And he says, if you control a Kashtira monster, you can special summon him from the hand. If he was normal or special summon that turn, you can banish a Kashtira card from your deck, and then he becomes level 7, and then you banish the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck face down, which is really, really cool. He becomes level 7, and he's just an extender, which is really, really nice. He can banish Theosises, he can banish other stuff to set up for Birth. He's just a really good card in general. So the only other 3 of one that we play currently, because I don't have a third copy of one of them, is Fenrir. And yeah, I know this is like the big expensive one of the deck, but you really do need 3 Fenrir. I don't think he's as important as the other card, which is Unicorn. And these guys are honestly really similar. So Fenrir, if both of them say if you control no monsters, you can special summon them. Fenrir, during your main phase, can search a monster, and Unicorn searches a Kashtira spell. Then, if a monster activates its effect, or these guys declare an attack, Unicorn banishes a card from their extra deck face down, and Fenrir banishes a monster on the field face down. Unicorn is really cool because he lets you look at your opponent's extra deck, and if I had a third one, I would be playing it, because this guy really is the best one to start your turn with, because you just summon this, you search Theosis, activate Theosis, get Fenrir, search Rise Heart. So yeah, these 3 are your bread and butter of the deck. And there's a card that I'll show later that is what I would cut for the Unicorn, but for right now I was just playing an extra name. But those are the most important ones, I would say, for the strategy, just because they get everything done. For the other ones, I was playing 2 Scareclaw. I like this one because if you summon it off Theosis, you can attack from defense position still. So I think he's really good in terms of just like being a name. This one, and I also played 2 Tearlament Kashtira. Scareclaw and Tearlament both have the ability to banish either a Scareclaw or Kashtira, or a Tearlament and Kashtira to special summon themselves. And then, let me see if this one actually does anything. No, it just lets it attack from defense position. And then this one says you can either mill your top 3 cards or your opponent's top 3 cards. So this is pretty cool if you already have a Rise Heart on the board. But other than that, it's kind of mid. It's just another name, and I would be playing one of this if I had another field spell or another Unicorn. But yeah, these are your just extender names. The last one I play is Ogre. This should be a Unicorn. It has the same summoning condition where if you control no monsters, you can special summon it, and then except it also searches a trap card instead of a spell. And then its other effect is if it declares attack, monster activates effect, you can excavate the top 5 cards of your opponent's deck and banish 1 card from it, and then put the rest back in the correct order, which is kind of neat. So he's okay, but he's definitely the weakest of the OG3. And that's it for Kashtira names. For other stuff that we were playing, Triple D Shifter, this deck already wants to banish stuff, so it doesn't really hurt this deck whenever things get banished. So yeah, Shifter is easy. Ash Blossom, just because that's what's good this format, I think. I think these are probably some of the better hand traps this format. So that's it for those. That's it for the monsters. Moving into the spells and traps, starting us off with the Kashtira ones. This is probably the most important spell in the deck. It's Kashtira Theosis. This is an E-Telly for Kashtira. So you target a Kashtira monster you control and summon one with a different attribute from the deck. And then if this card gets banished, you can target a banished Kashtira monster and add it to your hand, which is really, really good. Yeah, and you can use both effects in one turn, which is really cool. The other Kashtira spell we play 3 of, and the only other Kashtira spell currently is Birth. Birth is insane. This card is awesome. You can once per turn, you can special summon a Kashtira that's banished or in your graveyard. You can also normal summon level 7 monsters without tributing, and then when your opponent activates a spell card, you can banish exactly 3 cards from their graveyard face down. So really, really good card here. The one card that I wish I had 3 of, to a degree, like I'm okay with playing 2, is Pressure Planet. And I almost didn't play this deck today at Locals because I didn't have a second one, but luckily I was able to trade for one more, and that was enough to push me over to play this deck. So this card, it worked kind of like the Tear Lament field spell. On activation, search one Kashtira monster, and then if Shangri-La activates its effect, you can pop one card on the field, which is really, really cool. And I don't think it really does anything else. Oh yeah, it also gives a buff to all monsters based on attributes on the field, not just ones you control. Yep, and that's all that does. But yeah, these are all pretty solid spells. For other spells, Triple Pot of Prosperity. You can get away with it, and also it face down banishes stuff. And you can recover face down banish with a Rise Heart, by the way. Then I played 3 Triple Tactics and 1 Thrust. I saw someone else playing this. I didn't see any of these all day. There was a couple games where I would side out these 2 and leave in these ones. There was a couple games where I left in these 3 and sided out this one. So maybe it was just because I was siding them out a lot, but I was playing 4 of them and I just didn't see any of them. I also played the 1 Terraforming and the 1 Dark Ruler No More. This was the set off of Thrust, although I did hard open it with like when it kind of mattered, which was cool. So yeah, and that's it for the one-ofs, or for the generic spells. Traps. I played 1 Kashtira Big Bang. I prefer this as the Kashtira trap card just because its banish effect is pretty good, and it's like a tiny evenly matched on activation. But yeah, the banish effect is that you can target a Kashtira Xyz you control, take one of its Xyz materials, and add it to your hand, which is really, really cool for recovery. And then the last one I played was 3 Imperm. Just Imperm is really good this format, and this card came up a lot. There was one where I had 2 of them, and my opponent tried to book his own Despia monster, and I just no, he tried to book of Eclipse, and he had played Eclipse in the same column as my second Imperm, so I just changed second Imperm to hit the Despia monster. So, and it also negated the Eclipse, which was pretty cool. Yeah, that's it for the main deck. Moving into the extra deck, we have some really, really cool stuff, really strong cards here. So starting us off is the Arise Hearts, the very shiny Arise Heart. He needs 3 level 7 monsters to make. He's a walking macrocosmos. And then when once per chain, when a card is banished face down, you can equip 1 banished card to him as an Xyz material. And then you can detach 3 materials from him as a quick effect to banish 1 card on the field face down. So really, really powerful card, really strong card, and it combos extremely well with Shangri-La. Yeah, this is like it's not your main boss monster, but it is one of the like boss monsters of the deck. And it does a lot. And I also like that it takes a little bit for it to like gain the materials to like get rid of stuff. It's like a machine powering up, which is pretty cool. I played 2 Shangri-La, and I'm probably gonna bump this up to 3 because like there were so many games where I was like, I need a third one. It works like a Toad, so during the standby phase, you can special summon 1 you can special summon 1 Kashtira from the deck, and then it has a protection effect where if it would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can detach a material from it. And his other effect is when a card your opponent owns and possesses is banished face down, he gets to lock out a main monster or spell and trap zone, which is really cool. And there was a couple games where you could lock out the first 3 zones on your turn, and then in your opponent's standby phase, you could lock out the other 2 in the main monster zone. So you just locked out all 5. And I pulled that off once, and then I pulled off locking 3 zones in another game. But yeah, so really, really strong, really, really strong card. I played 2 Mind Hacker. This guy is really cool. He banishes a card out of your opponent's extra deck face down, so it's another way to look at your opponent's extra deck. And then he also says that if he destroys something by battle, he gets to banish a card face down. And then his last effect is that if a card your opponent possesses is banished face down, you get to banish cards from the top of their deck equal to the amount of face down banished, and they banish them face down. So there was I decked someone out with this card. Like, it's crazy. Because, like, they had 19 face down banished, and they only had, like, 18 cards left in deck. So I swung, or I banished a card with this, triggered himself, and then made them deck out. So, which, it felt scummy, but it's also one of those things that's like, wow, you have an alternative win con instead of just locking out. You can also debolos. So other rank 7s we're playing, I played 2 Big Eye. This is mainly because not only Unicorn is the reason we're playing 2 of like everything, but also Pot of Prosperity. Big Eye actually came up quite a few times, which I was surprised by. So yeah, really cool. Lets you steal a monster on your opponent's side. I stole a Mirror Jade with this, and then I swung for no, I stole a Mirror Jade with something else. I stole a Luber with this and just swung for big damage with other cards. I played 2 Zeus. Shout out to Angel of Alchemy. This is her card. Yeah, Zeus. I didn't summon it, but yeah, definitely do like having the 2, especially with Prosperity and whatnot. So, really cool cards. For one of rank 7s, 1 Flare Metal for burn damage. I genuinely don't know what this card does. It's just an okay rank 7 from what I've seen, and I banished it off Prosperity all day. So, I legit don't know what that does. 1 Infinitrack Goliath. Shout out to Little Sheep in the Discord, because I accidentally stole his Goliath. This card, you banish it off Prosperity. Like, you're legit meant to banish this off Prosperity. And then whenever you get out Kashtira Arise Heart, and you take this and equip it to him as an Xyz material, because a machine monster with this as material can't be destroyed by card effects. So it's just really, really strong in that way. It just, yeah, it's just a utility link. You never actually summon it. 1 Donner. I almost went into this, but I was Xyz locked, so I just banished off Prosperity. And then 1 Mega Fleet. The reason I was playing this, we have a Cyber Dragon player at our locals, and also I needed a 15th card, and this just happened to be in my binder, so that was my 15th card. Going into the side deck, I will show off the side deck for this just because. So we have a lot of branded at our locals. So I was playing 3 Ghost Spell for like branded in red and things like that, and like branded banishment. Triple Nibiru. This actually came up. I played Nibiru and I nibbed our Earth Machine player, Little Sheep. So yeah, I played 3 Lightning Storm. I sighted it, never saw it. Some back row hate and D-Barrier, which I actually did see D-Barrier one game. I Pot of Prosperity into it and called Fusion against Invoke Shadal. So these came up. Everything here almost came up except for like this. But if I had played against Angel of Alchemy in the tournament, I probably would have cited all that just because it's like the Lightning Storms and the Twisters, just because it's all back row hate and she plays Labyrinth. But yeah, that is my Kashtira deck. I genuinely enjoy this deck. I think it's really, really fun, and I had a great time playing it. It's been a while since like an actual meta deck. I think Drytron was the last one. Like an actual meta deck like intrigued me and interested me in playing it. And while this does have a price tag on it, and I've paid the price tag, I do enjoy the deck, and I think it's going to be strong going into this format. But I don't think it's any better than anything else that we've seen so far. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this deck in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts because there's definitely some changes to this that I think I could make. But I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.